I'm really, really looking forward to tonight's game just to see if tonight's the night. Tonight's the night it gets better. Tonight's the night the light goes on. Tonight's the night where we keep saying it's going to take time. It's going to take patience and time. It's going to take money, a whole lot of spending money.
They spent the money. Now you just need the patience.
I know. I was just quoting the George Harrison song. Is tonight the night your patience is rewarded by that complete game that we're waiting for from the Phoenix Suns? And if not, we're in here tomorrow and we're going to be talking more about they don't have a point guard. They need to get one. Is there a trade they should make, et cetera, et cetera,
I'm looking forward to midnight tonight when the fourth quarter starts and – we get to see if they can finally win a fourth quarter. It's been their downfall.
Not a big fan of the late starts. Sorry, there,
I hate the late
Plus, it's a
starts.
nationally televised game, so 8:30
could go later.
Is really more like 8:45.
Could go later. Watch the game before it goes to overtime. It's a double overtime. Listen, every game they play here. Now, like you, I was a little excited about the Miami game. They played so well and they won that game. Okay, here's the start. I've always said they're going to wait. They want to see 10 to 12 games. Then they'll get to the trade deadline in the buyout market, and they'll be active as they can. I expect them to be active at that point, but they want to see what this team could do over 10 to 12 games. But then they lost the next two games to Memphis and the Clippers.
No, I did think that Miami game was a corner turner. I thought the Orlando game was a corner turner for the Orlando, and then they ran into the Clippers. And then the Memphis game was just an absolute mess. Everybody is trying to throw solutions at the Phoenix Suns to see, what might work. I read a story today on The Athletic in which they went through what every team needs at the trade deadline. I thought for sure it was going to be a point guard for the Suns. It wasn't. It was a perimeter defender.
God, I so agree with that, too, though.
Over a point guard?
I mean, I do agree with I think they need somebody that could play on the perimeter, that could play defense, guard multiple positions, but also help facilitate and play make a little bit too. So, if you could get T.J. McConnell, I'm like all for it. Like T.J. McConnell would be great on this team. How much does he play in the playoffs with Beal, Booker, and I don't know, but I think he would find his spots. But just again, if I could have one guy, listen. It's not set in stone that Bradley Beal has to play the last 5 minutes of every basketball game.
No, it's not.
If T.J. McConnell's a better fit, then he's a better fit. I wouldn't. If you could get the right guy at point guard, I'm all for it. But you got to have the right guy.
I want to go back to something you said there because it's gonna spark a little conversation.
Okay.
If the Suns are to acquire a player, does it have to be somebody who's going to help you in the playoffs, or can it be someone who's going to help you get to the playoffs? You see, what I mean?
It's a fair question.
Because I don't know if we should get super hung up on, well, let's not go get this guy because he's not really going to play for you in the playoffs. Well,
I wouldn't get that guy.
You would not want a guy who's not going to help you in the playoffs at all.
No, because listen, people have asked me about Bismack Biyombo. Okay, they could have kept Bismack Biyombo. They let him go. If he came back, he'd be the third center who's not going to play in the playoffs. So I don't see it happening. I don't see a reunion with Bismack
Biyombo. Be the only standard by which we judge. But I don't know if that necessarily should be the only filter that we look at these
It's a good conversation. You think that if they could get somebody who could just help them in the regular season but would not be part of the playoff rotation, be okay with
Depending
that?
on the cost, yes. Depending on what you'd have to give up to get that guy. Because right now, I'm genuinely deeply concerned the Suns are headed for a play-in tournament. I mean, I really, and
I'll be there at the end of this month if they have a bad month.
Okay.
Because you know me. You get to, and I put it at 6. You get to 6 games behind the 6th seed going into February. I don't know if you're making that ground up.
I don't know if you are either.
I'd like a playmaker who can make threes, but a playmaker that could also defend. Somebody could be on the perimeter that could shoot the basketball, but it could also be a playmaker.
So not a pure point guard in the purest sense of the word. More of a perimeter defender facilitator
but
type.
Somebody that you have to guard. You got to guard that person.
Wow.
Now I understand that.
I don't know if this unicorn exists at the trade deadline or not. No,
TJ's good. I think we overrate him a little bit here, but he's good. I
think you might be right. We overrate him a little bit here. We think way highly of TJ McConnell.
TJ would be the guy that you want. He would boost you in the non-playoff games.
There was a story on Bright Side of the Sun a couple of days ago. We haven't talked about it yet. And the headline of the story says it all. Is it wrong to wonder what John Wall is up to these days? And I saw the headline and I thought, oh, man, we are beginning our slippery descent into hell with this one. We're having this conversation.
Wow, John Wall.
John Wall, huh?
This guy, listen, he was a great player, but the last time he was a great player was 6 years ago. You know, I mean, that's the thing. He's been out of the league for a while now, and he doesn't want to call it a career. He still wants to play. It was a Bleacher Report story. He was working out in Orlando, and
invited NBA teams there, hoping that somebody would be.
Just take a look. I still want to play, but the last time that that he really played a lot of games was probably the 2021 season. He played 40 games with Houston. 2022 with the Lakers, he only started 3 games, played 34. But it's been a while since he was a great player in this league.
But I will say this, he might be one of those players for whom I was just talking about a moment ago, so maybe I shouldn't be so quick to laugh him off and dismiss him. He might be a player who, come playoff time, won't play a minute for you. But can he give you decent enough minutes to help get you there, to help bridge the gap? You know what? Honestly, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe he can be a guy that, come playoff time, no, I'm not giving him minutes. And no, I'm not letting him play. But somebody who can give me 15 minutes of decent point guard play during the regular season that kind of helps smooth out the rough spots. Look, at this point, if this thing, and you're right, we have to give this thing a few more weeks before we really start considering these in case of emergency break glass kind of things. Let's see how the big three do with more time and more patience and things like that. But we get to the beginning of February and things haven't gotten any better, then I think it's time to consider everything. And I mean everything.
Yeah, even 33-year-old guys that are sitting on their couch right now.
But we're not there yet.
Yeah.
But we're not there yet. Not yet.
I mean, listen,
soon, but we're not there yet.
I don't think there's anything wrong with, bring him in for a workout. Bring him in for a workout and see what you see.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like he's been out of the league for 5 years.
Thanks for watching Burns and Gambo. Click to see more from the guys and hit the button in the middle to subscribe so you never miss a video from Arizona sports.